Welcome back, guys. Someone asked me a really interesting question recently. They asked me, what's the best investment I've made in music? What's the best money I've spent? And I didn't even need to think about it. It's this. This is the VSX system from Steven Slate Audio. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what it is, I'm going to tell you why it's so important, and I'm going to let you know how I use it. So just straight off the bat, I want to say I'm not affiliated with Steven Slate Audio in any way. They didn't send me VSX, I didn't get it free. I bought it myself, the video isn't sponsored, and these are my own opinions based on my own experience with VSX. So first of all, what is VSX? It's a set of high quality headphones with a very flat frequency response and some really clever software with various room and listening environment emulations. So why is this important? Well, you've probably heard people say that you shouldn't mix in headphones. This is true for a number of reasons. A mix that you do in headphones won't translate well when you listen to it on speakers. There are a number of reasons for this, but the main one is that when you play sound through a set of speakers, it bounces around, it bounces off things and creates reverb, and you get crossover between the two channels, which you don't detect in headphones. Now, the most notorious example of this is the dreaded car test. And the reason headphone mixes sound so bad in a car is because it's a really bad listening environment. The speakers are facing one another, they're down by your feet, they're very close together, and they're basically trapped in a big bucket in the footwell. So that's why your headphone mixes always have that awful flat muffled kind of sound when you listen to them in the car. A similar thing happens if you listen to headphone mixes on a bigger system like a club system. You'll notice the sound seems to be bouncing around everywhere and it sounds really thin. So that brings us to the next point, how to use VSX. The VSX system aims to correct the problems with headphone mixing by giving us access to really realistic sounding listening environment emulations. And these are being updated regularly. They regularly add new rooms or new listening environments with each update. So I mentioned earlier, the headphones that come with the VSX system have a very flat frequency curve. And when you first install VSX, you calibrate the headphones so that they work with your ears. And then you can scroll through the various listening environments to check your mix. And you'll notice it actually includes several car emulations in there. If you're going to get VSX, and if you're mixing in headphones, I highly recommend you do. I recommend going for the Platinum Edition. You get all the listening environments, and it's well worth the extra cost. So I found the best way to use it is to pick a room that you feel comfortable with, a room that sounds familiar. Maybe it sounds more like the studios you've mixed in before. Listen to your reference tracks in this room so that you can get a good idea of the way things are supposed to sound. While learning one room and getting to know the acoustic qualities of that room is very important, it's also important to check your mix on several other of the emulations. As mentioned, the car emulations are very important, as is this boombox, which kind of sounds like laptop speakers. Other important ones are the AirPods and the phone emulation. And obviously it's always a good idea to check a mono sum of your mix as well. Now everybody has their favourite rooms, and a lot of the time it depends on the type of music that you mix in. I personally find myself using Mike Dean's room most of the time. The near field monitors in there are an emulation of the old Yamaha NS10s, and I was really surprised at how much they actually sound like my old NS10s. So as I said at the beginning, I'm not affiliated with Steven Slate Audio in any way. This video isn't sponsored, and I paid for the VSX system with my own money. But I honestly think it's the best investment I've made in music, and I highly recommend it if you're mixing in headphones. Not only will you see a drastic improvement to your mixes, but it'll also teach you a lot about mixing. Okay, so this video was just meant to be an introduction to the VSX system. I'm going to be posting more videos about my workflow in VSX, so if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel if that's of interest to you. And as always, if you have any questions at all, ask me in the comments. Thanks for watching, see you next time.